up, brother, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, brother, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Her family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. So
this is Layla Santinello. She has been missing since June 27th, 2023, and she disappeared from Kingsport, Tennessee. Chronicles of Olivia and I went out to Kingsport, Tennessee on several different trips, searching for Layla Santinello or any information leading to her whereabouts. These are my thoughts on this case.
well, I have to be honest with you. I was hoping by now we would have found Layla. So this has been very hard. You know, we want to bring her home. We want to make sure that her family knows what happened to her, I think is really the most important. Her family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. Just like to speak to them just for a moment and just say, if you know something, say something, because her life does matter. For the family members of these people that know what happened to her, it could have been your daughter. It could have been your granddaughter. You need to ask them to stand up and speak up.
Five-year-old child's missing and he likes to play games. He had 7 alibis and she had none. She's going down. My thing is one person only needs one alibi, the truth. Him explaining himself like, I got 7 alibis. Who needs 7 alibis?
We're going to call Don Wells right now. He says that he can't join us in searching for Summers.
That shows right there that could possibly be deception. I think Candace has a hand in whatever happened in this home, and I think Don covered it up. If in fact He was at work at the time she disappeared.
Making excuses. We're in town. We are the only people
I'll get him.
actively searching for Summer.
I'll get him.
He does not want to meet us. He knows we're here. He's finding excuses not to meet us. So,
Don, it's Molly Golightly. I know that you guys know that we're in town, and we just want to find your daughter.
After the witness came forward about the violence that goes on in this home, it's just hard. It's hard to believe that she left this. I don't think anything happened to her at the water hole. I think she died right here on this mountain.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We've brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims. YouTube, TikTok. Where are we? Where are we this morning? I don't know. Happy Hump Day, folks. Happy Hump Day. You guys have made it halfway through your week. Are you an optimist or a pessimist? Is your glass half full or half empty? Is it half full or half empty? It's nice to see everybody here this morning. We're going to be going over the AudriiCunningham case. This is the case of the beautiful 11-year-old child that was fished out of the Trinity River. We've had a lot to say about our opinion of the father's side of the family, our opinion of the mother's side of the family. And we are going to be getting down to the brass tacks. Nancy Grace had Cassie Matthews, the mother of AudriiCunningham, on her show last night or yesterday at some point. And a lot can be said from that interview. Many of you know that I come out swinging when I take a parent and I think a parent is being unjustly treated. I will come out and I will take some of those blows myself. And one of those is the father. You know, we're going to be talking about the father and the father's case. I think the mother was unfairly treated by the father. I think she's been unfairly treated by the father's side of the family for far too long. And now her daughter is gone, and I'll be damned if they're going to do it anymore. And so that's kind of where we're at today. And I just want to give a big shout out to, again, Nancy Grace.
for taking Cassie's story and bringing it to national media. Because I think that Cassie's story needed to be said, needed to be told. And thank you again, Nancy Grace, for getting her name, her face, and her story out there. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you. The real me too. The first to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty in chat, followed by Bullhorn Betty herself. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, come on. It's too early for this. It's too early. Angela K, it's nice to see you. It's me, Jen. Good morning. Always watching is always watching. It's nice to see you, Christina. Good morning to all. Our beautiful Pebbles is up in the house. Teresa D, Alabama mom of 4. It's nice to see you. MJ's up in the house, reminding everybody, don't forget to hit those like buttons on your way into the Bullhorn Betty channel. Bayou Babe is up in the house. Melinda, it's nice to see you. Ruby, our resident defense attorney, Big Mac Mike, it's nice to see you. JB's mama, it's nice to see you as well. Good morning, Audrey. Good morning. We got Joyce up in the house. It's nice to see you as well. Our beautiful Sonia. If you guys don't know much about Sonia, Sonia makes our beautiful shirts. She does a great job, not just Bullhorn Betty shirts. You have a design, you got a family reunion coming up, you got something, you need shirts. Why call Custom Ink where you don't know where your money is going, right? Our beautiful Sonia does a lot of great things for the victims and the victims' families. And so I don't even advertise my, whatever program I used, iPrint, whatever it was that I do. Anyways, I don't even promote that anymore because what Sonia does is amazing stuff. And she always keeps us clothed here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So support a supporter that supports us and supports the victims, right, Sonia? So don't forget that I can't even think this morning. Irish Day is coming up, St. Patty's Day. Good Lord. It's time for me to go home. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. Have a good day. Bye-bye. I just need to pack up and go home. Quit my day job. Quit my day job. Unicorn Indiana is up in the house. It's nice to see you as well. I think I'm getting down to the bottoms. Our beautiful Guidance is up in the house. Obsessed with true crime. It's nice to see you. 3 Flying Doves. Good morning, Pittsburgh Nurse. Crafty Chris. Good morning, Honey Dip. Courtney, and who else do we have up in here? Reggie, be good. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you, Aaron. Good morning. TL. Oh, look at who we have. Susiana from Louisiana. I'm down under. Oh, good Lord. Daniel Lynn, it's nice to see you. I think that's about it. If I missed you, I just want a big blanket good morning to the stragglers coming into the Bullhorn Betty channel this morning. Getting back to our topic of conversation, Audrii Cunningham. Audrii Cunningham was an 11-year-old girl. Like I said, she went missing on February 15th. This is the same day that Chronicles of Olivia and I were landing in Texas. We've already had the discussions of how many Amber Alerts we had while we were in Texas. I got to say, I've been to Texas before. I've never experienced this before. I've never experienced this in any state that I've ever went in where we almost got an Amber Alert per day that we were on the ground. Per day. I've never experienced it. It was one of those things where we just kind of looked at each other and said, another one. It was really ominous and just freaky. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It was short of making the hair on the back of your neck stand up. It was short of that. You know, it didn't quite rise to that level, but it was like, there's something going on here. So we decided to go out there and follow this case. And before we even put our feet on the ground in Livingston, Texas, we already knew what the real deal was on the case. We already had the lowdown. We already had information coming out of our ears.
with who could be responsible for this, why they may be responsible for this, and where she may be. We had that long before we even hit Livingston. Our primary focus at that point was just trying to find everything we can about the family and everything else. Since then, we learned about the mom. We heard horrible things like everybody else about the mom. We didn't really, we were kind of going in there, but then when we realized that this child was gone and she wasn't coming home again, something inside of me wanted to find out who's really responsible for this. And in that pursuit of that, it drawed criticism and scrutiny on the father, his mother, and that side of the family. Right out the gate, my heart bled for the mother. Literally, I was angry because she wasn't really in the child's life. But when you just took 5 minutes out of your day to look into the history and the past, you kind of knew who the instigators of this was. And that's what more infuriated me. And then when I started seeing people condemning this woman, I had just kind of had it. I really did. Because she had so much taken from her. And people just really didn't know. I felt like if people actually knew what this woman was going through, what she's been through, I feel like the world couldn't condemn her like they're condemning her. So I wanted people to hear her story. I wanted people to understand that, she's not at fault here. She fought for her daughter. People are acting like she's just sitting on the wayside on her hands and not doing anything. That's not the case. She wanted a relationship with her daughter. She kept reaching out to the father. The father talked to her absolutely despicably. And if he's doing that to her when she's just trying to have an adult conversation and discuss their child, if he's acting like that, God knows what he's saying to his own daughter about her mother, which I absolutely condemn. You want to have problems, you want to have bad relationships, that's your business. But don't be disrespecting the child's parent. That is like, why? If you don't like the parent, that's fine. But you know what? The kid's stuck with the parent. Whether you like the parent or not, that's still that child's mother or father. So this whole thing, God knows what they were pumping in that child's head about their mother. We all don't know the true, the truth. There's her side, there's his side, and somewhere in the middle of his side and her side, there's the truth. That's where it lies. We know that. We know that not 100% of 100% is 100% of 100%, right? But the bottom line is that she had been condemned long enough. And so I thought that if people just heard her story, that, maybe, just maybe some of that criticism can be directed in the right places. And I think the right places is definitely not on her front doorstep. She's lost enough. She's a mom. She's a mom that didn't get to see her child. She's a mom that didn't get to hold her child. She's a mom that didn't get to tuck her child in. And this is a mom that, in all appearances and all accounts, to me, is now feeling more premeditated than not. When I heard this story on Nancy Grace, which let me go ahead and drop the link so you guys can watch it, because we're not going to be watching it in its entirety. We're going to take little portions of this for fair use. And if you want to watch it in entirety, and I recommend, we have 174 people collectively across these channels right now here in this channel watching the show. So out of those 176 now, here is the link. I behoove all of you guys to watch this. Okay. I want you to watch it. I want you to listen. I want you to pay attention. And you see a mom that is hurt, that is angry, that wants answers. But you get to hear her story. You get to hear her truth. You get to hear what happened behind the scenes so people can stop condemning her. Was she perfect? And again, I want to throw this out here. We have now 187 people in chat right now, okay, across these platforms. Please raise your hand if you're perfect. If you were a perfect parent and never made one mistake raising your child, please raise your hand. Please. Because it's so easy to sit here in judgment of another person. But if you just took 5 minutes and listened to her story,
you would understand it's not as it seems. So I'm going to go ahead and play a small clip here. We're going to listen to a couple other things without it up on the screen. This is one that I want up on the screen. So that's where we're at right now. So give me just 2 shakes. There we go. This is from the Nancy Grace interview with Cassie Matthews. This is Audrii Cunningham's mom. This is the one that everybody says is a horrible drug addict and, was going to injure or put her child in danger. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're very clear that this is the one that was perceived to be the monster prior to the loss of her daughter.
Had messaged me strangely out of the blue the night before.
I want you to hear.
Mom has her call you. And what did she say?
This is the important stuff. This is why I think this was premeditated. I want you guys to listen to this and listen to this intensely. This, again, is being used for fair use, commentary, newsworthy, and criticism. I'm not criticizing anything that Nancy Grace does. I love Nancy Grace, but I am going to commentate on it, and it is newsworthy in a newsworthy capacity. So just FYI on that.
Say?
She tells me that she's missing. She didn't make it home off the bus. Asked me if I had seen her, which
she's referring to Lucky's mom, Grandma. Okay, this is Grandma. This is the winter chicken dinner, Grandma all night long, right?
That's a crazy question because you haven't allowed me to see her in so long. And after that, I had told her about how Steven had messaged me strangely out of the blue the night before.
Strangely out of the blue the night before. Strangely out of the blue the night before. Steven just randomly. Now, again, this is why I'm starting to feel this was premeditated. This goes beyond this just being a snaps decision that we all thought it was once before. I want you to listen very closely to what she's saying.
And that I would share the messages with her. And then I asked her where Steven was. And she went from a...
Are you referring to the defendant, the murder defendant, Steven McDougal, age 42? Is that who you're referring to?
Yes, that's who I'm referring to.
When they asked where's Audrii, what did you say?
I, of course, told them I haven't seen her. And in my mind, I wanted to snap and tell her.
So this is, again, a mom. I want you to look at her. This is a woman that's angry, okay? This is not a woman that does not care about her child. This is not a woman that just wanted to live her own life out there in the Bahamas, retired, carefree. This is a woman that was fighting to have a relationship with her daughter. Fighting for a really long time, by the way, okay?
Of course, I haven't seen her. You and your son haven't let me see my daughter in how long now? But I didn't because I instantly wanted to know where my daughter was. That was the thing that took over.
And you're about to hear something that's going to be jaw-dropping.
You also asked the grandma, where is Steven? And we know that to be Steven McDougal.
I had told her about him messaging me. Out of the blue the night before. And
I just want to let you know, this is the man. This is the man right here that Daddy and Mommy Dearest, not Cassie, I'm talking about Grandma, thought was a great role model to babysit this young girl, this impressionable, young, 11-year-old girl. I just want everybody to see that. Now, you don't have to really have any clue of whether this guy is on an RSO website. I mean, I don't like judging people. Yes, I do. I judge people all the time. And you know what? At the end of the day, people judge me too, don't they? Now, don't they? But tell me, who in the hell would allow their young child, their young female child, to be in this man's care alone in today's society? Like, I don't trust a damn person. I don't trust a damn person. let alone the likes of somebody like this taking care of a young child. There's a reason why he's living in a trailer. There's a reason why he just got out of prison. Obviously, the family knew he had just gotten out of prison. And you're going to leave a child in his care after being freshly out of prison. Great job. What a well thought out decision that was.
And told her that he had said to me that he was going to take her to school that morning. And I asked her where he was and had she seen him. And she went from hysterical to stuttering.
So grandma went to from wanting to be accusatory of mom to mom saying, wait a minute, this dude just reached out to me out of the blue. Has anybody talked to him? And grandma's like, Now that they can't point the finger at mom and they've got to actually look at somebody in their own home, it's and people say I shouldn't be mean to grandma or dad. Okay, yeah, that ain't happening, Cupcake.
I gotta go.
You
yeah, great
me...
guy, man. Winner, chicken dinner. Let's let all the children, all the female children under the age of 12 hang out with a dude like this. But hey, let's not be disrespectful to the family for making a stupid freaking decision that lost a child its life. Let's just sweep it under the rug and act like it doesn't exist because somebody's feelings might get hurt. Let's do that. That's a better option instead. Great guy. What a winner. Must be the babysitter of the year. What kind of education was he teaching this young girl? Oh, I forgot. We're never going to be able to find out because they fished her out of the Trinity River because of the hands of this man. But let's not be mad. Let's not be mean to daddy and grandma that allowed this man into her life.
You told me earlier she went from calm to hysterical.
No. She went from hysterical to stuttering, and she had to go.
Oh, as soon as she realized that Steven McDougal had been with Audrii, she had to go and hung up the phone.
Interesting. Let's see. I guess I shouldn't be mad at grandma now, huh? Maintaining that it was this mother. Even after she even herself started second guessing herself, because that's the only reaction you'd get with and still wanted to have this man's back. Okay, lady, I gotcha. Great guy. Oh, by the way, this here is daddy. This here is daddy right here, wearing the same bandana as this knucklehead right here. Seems a little chummy. Seems like they ran in the same group. Seems like they knew each other. Just saying. Mild observation.
It was her stuttering the word she didn't have anything else to say other than I gotta go. Now in the 911 call, you can clearly hear him in the background.
Guys, we are speaking with Cassie.
Now let me get over here.
We're getting picked up by the sheriff's office and you know. No, she looked me in my face, asked me to sit down, and then she said, "This is not news that I want to be giving you right now." And I started bawling, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, baby, you know." And she was right.
Everybody knew. Everybody knew. I would recommend anybody and everybody to please get over to the Nancy Grace and watch the full episode of that. It was hard to watch. but it was necessary. And I hope everybody understands that this woman is a victim as well. Okay. She didn't hurt or harm her daughter. She wanted a life with her daughter. All she wanted, she didn't even want custody. She just wanted the man to let her see her daughter. To let her see her daughter. That's it. She wasn't trying to fight him for custody. She just wanted visitation. She wanted the court ordered visitation that he was not upholding to. That's it. He does look like a little punk. You know, and I stood, yeah, I did the right thing at the time when it was necessary. We put videos out. We showed the love of the father. I went around the neighborhood. I made sure that everybody knew she was loved and well taken care of, right? But it doesn't change the fact that they invited the monster in the home. It doesn't change the fact that they pushed the mother out of this child's life while letting evil infiltrate this child's life. The anger and frustration, it's almost unbearable. And that's me from an outsider looking in. I cannot imagine being this mother. Did Daddy want this to happen to his daughter? No. Do I believe Daddy loved his daughter? Yes, I do. Do I believe Grandma loved her daughter? Yes, I do. I believed a lot of people loved this child and wanted to see the best of this child. It doesn't change the fact that they invited the monster in, and now instead of just owning it, they want to pass the buck. No. I would not even be having this on my topic. We would not even be discussing this if they just did the right thing. The hard thing. Admitting that they are responsible. That's what the world wants, not passing the buck. Them saying, you know what? We effed up. And we have to live with it for the rest of our lives. We didn't realize we were putting our precious baby in harm's way. We are sorry for everything we put Cassie through. They can't do that. They won't do that. So until they do, if people are offended with the commentary coming from the Bullhorn Betty channel or channels, there is a delete button, there's an unsubscribe button, and there's always a power off button. But when we have a whole entire family acting like they're not responsible and poor me, poor me, poor me, that's when Bullhorn Betty says, no, that's not going to happen. There's a lot of people saying, no, we're not going to let this happen. We're not going to let this happen. We're going to come out here and we're going to let the truth be known, whether they like it or not. Old mean social media. Man, we should shut our mouths, shouldn't we? Look over there because there's nothing to see over here. Unfortunately, this child is gone. And when you strip the layers of onions back, you see exactly what is going on. You see exactly what's going on. There's just one other spot in here that I wanted to, let's see if it's this one.
A director, Cold Case Foundation, former homicide detective, over 300 homicides try. And I know these are just words that don't mean. Miss Cassie is just so full of joy and life. I'm looking at a picture of her now with a little white t-shirt on with the blue sundress over it. And now she's got on a little black t-shirt and looks like a little pocketbook strapped shoulder over
Beautiful
her
little girl.
shoulder.
Crazy things from that family. So when she said no, she's missing.
So, Cassie, you said that the paternal grandmother, Tabitha, went knocking at your fiance's mom's door.
So I also want to say this. That is correct. Tabitha went over knocking on her fiance boyfriend's mom's door. And the child, Audrii Cunningham, was not there. So the mother of her fiance decides to call her and say, hey, your child's missing. And the mother of her boyfriend, Cassie's boyfriend, fiance, had to force the grandmother, Tabitha, to speak to her. She has a missing grandchild, so much so that she decided to go over to this woman's house. And then when she goes over to this house, she has to be forced to speak with the person she was supposedly going over to that house for. There is something here where I feel like grandma knew in the back of her head when her granddaughter went missing who was responsible. Another key reason why I feel like there was more going on with grandma and this Steven McDougal than meets the eye. And there's a lot of people not asking the questions. And I'm sure grandma's not going to answer the questions even or deny it. Or deny it. Grandma was with, let me see if I can find this. I want you guys to see this photo. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But once you see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Like, grandma just looked a little too close to this man in this photo for me to say, yeah, maybe there's not. Here it is, right here. This one right here. Let me share this. It's this one right here. Look at grandma. There's just something about grandma's face next to that man that she's just leaning a little too much in. She's got too big of a smile on her face, much bigger than everybody else that's in and around. And this is the photo that made me step back and say, what's grandma's intentions? What's grandma's intentions? Because I got to tell you, when I look at something, it's usually that, what do I get off of it? That immediate action, that immediate moment. Yes, going to Florida, that immediate moment when you look at something and something, you get a vibe. Like, a lot of people don't pay attention to any of that. I do. I don't know why. It's not something I work on or anything like that. It's just something that when I see something and I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, this just doesn't look right, and they're like, I was thinking the same thing too. And you're talking to this person, like, I'm thinking the same thing too. Now you're not alone. But it was this photo and this photo alone that made me feel like there was something more going on with grandma and Steven McDougal. And so that was long before I knew the details of this lady going to her fiance's mom's home. And then when you have her going to the fiance's mom's home, having to be forced to speak to Cassie, and then being questioned about this very man she's seen in this photo with, and choking up, you start seeing a different type of picture being painted if you're paying attention. And to me, now this is not everybody. I don't expect everybody to have my same opinion or come up to the same conclusion as me. But for me, it was this photo that made me feel like grandma and Steve had some type of relationship. Whether it was, friends with benefits, a more involved relationship. But I feel like there was something here, and it was off of this photo right here. And then, of course, everything that happened after this photo and her behaviors that kind of solidify for me in my mind my theory. So I wanted to show that to you because I thought it was important, because she just seemed chummy to me. She seemed a little chummy to me for my own comfort when I see this. And this is supposed to be a stranger she knows nothing about, right? This whole entire family to me appears like they knew this man. They knew this man before he went to prison. I truly do believe. That's kind of the other thing that we've been hearing about in all of this is his particular behaviors. And then we look at the other guy that was living in the home before him that had similar charges, by the way, another creep that they had around this young girl. And that creep was similar in his appetite as well. So this is two different people on this family compound or family property out there in Livingston, and you have to derive a conclusion from those behaviors. And it's a very unsavory conclusion I'm coming up with. But to me, it sounds like Grandma had an appetite for these tatted up people. Just seems like it might have been her liking, because I couldn't figure out why there was such a significant age difference between her son and this man. And the only way that I can get that theory to work is including Grandma into it. Does that mean my theory it holds water? It does not. It's a theory that's developing for me. It's in my mind holding more water than not. But it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. So, good Lord. I think that's really all I really have today. I don't really have much. I'll open up the phone lines just a little bit if anybody would like to call in. But that's really the nuts and bolts of what I had. I mean, I just wanted everybody to go see that Nancy Grace interview with Cassie, because I think people need to hear it. And if I've got to run a whole entire live to bring attention to Nancy Grace's, I mean, not that she needs my attention at all, but, you know, for the people that are watching our channel that may not know she interviewed Cassie, I want to make sure that our people know. I mean, it's Nancy Grace, you know, she's like one of my idols, right? She's a woman that's never going to have problems on social media. She's not one of the mainstream media people I'm talking about when I say the mainstream media is dying out. Mainstream media is dying out. The mom and pops, the local news, that's all dying out. That's all being replaced. It really is. People are acting like it's not. I'm telling you it is, because teams of 3 are now teams of 1. That's telling me that they're not profitable enough to keep their teams together like they were. And so that means they're taking a hit. And it's because on social media, online, it's cheaper to advertise. Why are advertisers going to go to these small companies and advertise with them for thousands and thousands of dollars when those thousands of dollars can give them millions and millions of more views on social media? You know? So it's one of those things. I'm not trying to beat up on me. Well, sometimes I am when they do crappy jobs, which they do sometimes, right? There's the phone, 724-249-6140 if you're interested in speaking about this particular case. This is related to Audrii Cunningham. If you guys have any love and support you'd like to say to Cassie. Cassie deserves our love and support. And I'm just going to say that. I'll just break down this story for you guys. I did it on TikTok earlier this morning. I might as well just tell you guys this story. So first of all, this is just a condemnation to the hate channels. Listen, these families, they lost something that's more important to them than the air that they breathe. And they could care less of your petty BS about Bullhorn Betty. Okay. People see me out in the field. Okay. They're not in your stupid echo chamber that just, sucks the life out of everybody. They're not in your little tiny echo chamber. Okay. These are people that are dealing with real life problems and losses that people can even imagine. And so you have another stupid idiot stuck in stupid
reaching out to this family to warn them about Bullhorn Betty. Okay. Let me tell you something. Let me just be very clear to the idiots in the back of the room. Okay. Because I know you're watching. You're always watching, right? You hate me so much you watch me nonstop every day. I guarantee if I had a live on every single minute of every single hour of every single day, you would be present. That's how twisted and sick some of these people are. Reaching out to, yet and again, another mother of a lost child to warn them about Bullhorn Betty. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. I will tell you that. And I can also tell you when push comes to shove and they need somebody that's going to rise up, they ain't calling those stupid hate channels. They're reaching out to Bullhorn Betty. Okay? Why? Because they need somebody with a little bit of balls. Okay? Not somebody that hides behind an emoji and bitches all day. So this lady tells me that people reached out to her and said that I have a habit of twisting people's words. No, as a matter of fact, I kind of tell it like it is. People just have a problem with it. But what I can tell you is that I also care a lot. I'm understanding and I'm helpful. I didn't realize that she had wrote me and told me these things until I was already back in Florida. She had reached out to me. I reached out to her initially just to let her, I wasn't trying to get an interview or anything like that. I just let her know that, we had just arrived in Texas. We heard about her daughter's case and we would be on the ground advocating for her daughter and getting her daughter in front of as many people as we can. The last case, we were able to get their daughter in front of millions. And we anticipate and hopefully we can do the same. So I checked it a couple times, didn't hear from her. And it doesn't really affect my reasoning for being there. I just wanted them to know because I think it's only fair because I know there's idiots out there that's going to reach out to them. So I let them know. And so that opened the line of the communication. And of course, by the end of that, she's writing saying, that she heard this and heard that. And I didn't get them. So I didn't even respond to her because I didn't even know she was writing me. And when I got back here, that's when I wrote back and told her everything. And, she can do what she wants, but I care. And quite frankly, my heart bleeds for her the most. And that's what I told her. I also told her that I will make sure, that I will continue to fight for her. And at least she has the full support of my channels. And I left it at that. And that was just in the conversation. Well, since then, I had an opportunity to go up and give her a hug. And I got to tell you, when I hugged her and I just started bawling. Like it just tears running down our faces. My heart is broken for her. I just, I feel absolutely bad because it's one of those things when you know the information, you can't undo the information you've learned. And I learned that she was railroaded by this family. And then she lost her daughter when she's trying to fight to have a relationship with her daughter. Like that is heartbreaking. That is like, I can't express the agony that that comes over me for her. And so I just want the world to know she's not a monster. She loved her child. And the people that put her child in danger are the ones that were pointing the finger at her saying she was going to put her child in danger. And then when you look at it, they didn't just put their daughter in danger once, but multiple times. All the while pointing the finger at her own mother saying she's too dangerous for her daughter. It makes me, it angers me. It enrages me. It makes me want to fight and fight hard for Cassie Matthews. She deserves to have the Bullhorn Betty channel behind her. She deserves that. And obviously she deserves enough to have even Nancy Grace behind her. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful to Nancy for picking up her case. I am so thankful for Nancy for giving this woman a platform so that the world can hear her story. That is what I'm very thankful for. God bless Nancy Grace for that. And not only that, Nancy is I love to see somebody at her caliber being able to show emotion on her channel and not just be another talking head that just talks about the case. I like hearing people that put the victim first. I feel like that is lost sometimes in society today. That they're all wanting to know who did it, who done it, who's the first to gonna do this and do that. That they lose the victim in all of it. And that's the one thing that Olivia and I have always tried to maintain in any case that we cover is the victim and the victim's story. And I think we do that the best. Even when we met with the Gonzalez, we could have had them run down of who they thought was guilty of this, of the crime against their daughter. We could have went down that rabbit hole just like every other news station that walked into their home. We didn't want that. We wanted to learn about Kaylee, and we wanted to learn about Maddie, and we wanted to learn about their bond. Those were the things that we cared about. So, there is that. Give me just a second. Good morning, Love Bug. How you doing this morning?
All right, how are you?
Good.
Good. Yeah, this case is so upsetting.
It is.
And my heart breaks for the mother. The family just being so disrespectful to her, and not only that, they're disrespecting the little girl, Audrii. I mean, Audrii wanted to be in her mom's life.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've seen the picture of them. She ran into I guess Cassie's future mother-in-law lives next door to them, lives nearby them, and she ran into Audrii, and Audrii ran up to her. There's a picture of them two together, which was in May. And then Cassie was like, "Oh, I would have loved to spend more time," and she tried to, explain a little bit to her that, she loves her and she thinks of her, and she didn't want to bash the father. She just said, "Oh, your dad works a lot, I'm going to try and get in touch with him and so I can see you." And then she was afraid to spend any more time with him and get caught because of what would happen. So Cassie was petrified of these people,
Yeah.
and it's just not fair. I mean, there's so many parents that want to be in their kids' lives, and for whatever reason, the other parent doesn't want, and the kid's the one that ends up hurting over it, and it's just wrong. This family, I don't know. I could be being cruel and whatever, but I don't feel bad for the father. I don't feel bad for the grandmother. I really don't.
Well, I absolutely feel bad for everybody involved, but I
don't.
can't take away the fact that in all it sounds brutal to say it, but they did it to themselves,
Yep.
and they played with fire and they got burnt, and
Yeah.
they were just so despicable to this young girl's mother, all the while putting this child in danger. It's enough to just it angers me.
Yeah, it does. It angers me too. The thing is with this family, he's not the first SA to be around this daughter, and not the
That's
first one that lived there.
That's exactly the
And not
reason
only
why I'm
yeah,
angry is because
yep,
in my last video on TikTok, it was just that. It's like, they are proclaiming that the mom's too dangerous. Meanwhile, you didn't have just one monster evil man around your daughter. You had two, and one killed your daughter.
exactly. And not only are they friends with the ones that they live there, they're friends. If you look, you go in and you see they're friends with the parents too, the mother. And I don't see the fathers, but the grandmother's friends with the murderer's mother
Yeah.
and the other guy that lived there.
Oh,
They're friends. So
they
they
knew.
knew what was going on. Yeah, they knew it was that. Their Facebook friends, and the mother. Steve's mother even put in there that because when he got out, she didn't know. I guess he had gotten out of jail this last time. She goes, "Oh, you're out. Get in touch with me." And so they seen that. They knew.
They knew
And
he was
my
gonna
question is
jail.
why? Why did they allow it? There's a reason why.
It comes
And
from grandma. I think this was
yep,
grandma's boyfriend or pet or whatever. I mean,
yep,
just the age, the pieces just fit together with Stephen having a relationship more with the mother than with the father. The grandmother
yeah,
versus the father. When you put the pieces together, they don't really work any other way. I mean, they could, but it's a stretch. It seems like
right,
the grandmother is the piece.
Yep. And I got a feeling, maybe they didn't want her involved in it, like, especially as she got older, because they were afraid that, maybe, Audrey would want to be with the mom and not them anymore. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, she looked like, she was taken care of, and, she was loved. I'm not going to say she wasn't, but, you don't put people like that, career criminals, violent, put aside the essay. Just say there was none of that. You're talking about a violent man.
That is
2 months before this
yes,
happened.
yes, yes. Because
Yep.
even if
So, I
even if
mean,
you restrict all that essay stuff away from his background is still so bad. It's not something that you would have a young impressionable young girl around.
exactly. And I just hope and pray that, I mean, they even have the decency to talk to her when this happened. That's just so immature and so disrespectful, not just to Cassie,
Just
but to
shows
their
you
granddaughter.
who they are as people. That's that.
And I hope the heck that they allow her to go to the. I mean, there's a public viewing, but the funeral's private. So I'm wondering if that's to push her out of it. But I'm hoping she's allowed to be there because that would be
I
terrible.
don't know if
And I'm
that
sure if
I
I
don't
know
know if
Cass,
that would be a good idea because I think Cassie is so and rightfully so emotional. I don't know if she could be around them without that emotion coming out in her,
yeah,
to
you're
be
probably
honest with
right.
you, because I don't see myself sitting if something like this happened to me. I don't see myself going there and not making a scene. I'm sorry, I just don't. Just I know who I am as a person. If anything happened to my grandchildren, I would rip heaven and earth apart to find out who did it.
Yep.
And so if it came down to like her mother, my stepdaughter, having something to do with it, are you kidding me? Me standing next to my stepdaughter, it ain't happening.
No. Well, then she should be allowed some private time, like, an hour by herself with her
I
side of the
agree.
family.
I agree. 'Cause somebody
That they should
sponsored
at least
that
do
that
that.
funeral to begin with. Somebody that the family didn't come up with the money. There was from my understanding, a Good Samaritan that covered the entire cost. I think it was a creator of
Yes.
some sort that covered the entire cost of the funeral for them. So they're not paying for it. I think the mom should. You're right. I think that they should find a way to give this mother some time with her daughter. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
she never,
she needs that
golly,
closure.
she never had.
She needs the closure.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry.
but it's just I don't know. I really don't because it's I don't know how her mother could. It just that being the last time the first and the last time you see your daughter is in that state. I would just I don't know. I think my anger, my rage. I think that it would just come out in me.
Yeah. Well, she was in her daughter's life for the first few years. And then she seen her last May. She was in the neighborhood, I guess,
That's
because of
not
her
enough,
fiance's mother.
right?
And there's a picture of them together. And the little girl noticed her and ran over to her. And the little girl was so happy to see her, and Cassie was petrified. She didn't want to spend too much time with her because
She's
she tried to
scared.
explain a few little things, but she was scared the repercussions that were going to come after.
That is just
Not her, the
horrible.
daughter,
Just
because,
think about that. That's awful. It's an awful way to live.
yeah,
You can't even touch your own child. Like,
yeah.
you
Can
want
you
to talk about
imagine,
cruel and unusual punishment. That's cruel and unusual punishment right there.
yeah, and they punished the little girl for, having anything, if there was anything involved, anything like that, the little girl would get punished. And they scared her with the woods, going into the woods tactic. That's terrible.
Yeah, but let's
You
not be
know,
mean to Daddy Dearest. Let's be
no.
nice to him
Well, you
and
know
let's
what?
sweep all this under the rug.
It's funny. I didn't see them come out in the public, and I didn't see them come out and plea. They shut all down their social media, but Cassie is still up. And Cassie was, get one thing straight so people know. Cassie didn't lose her right to that daughter. She thought she was doing right by, the little girl having a better life, not realizing that they were going to alienate her from, the daughter from her. It's just wrong. I mean, there's so many parents. I mean, I know of a guy right now that wants to be in his kid's life. And he's a wonderful father, and the kids love him, and he's battling because she just with another guy and
Mhm.
doesn't want to allow it, and it's
Well, my
wrong.
mechanic just went through all of this in Michigan. You want to talk about a state that does not, that wants to keep children with the mother at all cost, whether it's good for their health or not? Go to Michigan. Go to
Yep.
Michigan because it took heaven and earth for him to get his children out of the custody. And not only that, but her husband, the mother's husband, caught at a daycare, jerking off in a car.
Oh,
And
nice.
that was still not enough to get those girls taken away from that home and brought here to Florida. Finally, after 3 solid years of fighting, they reached out to me. Like, I was ready to go out to Michigan and protest.
Yeah.
And they finally got custody of their 2 girls, finally. 3
Oh, that's
years of
good.
putting those children, and they were older children. They weren't like young kids, but they had to deal with
Right.
all this stuff as young kids until they were teenagers. But it took them all that time to get those kids away from the mother, and they finally did. And what a mess those girls were when they got here.
Yep. Sad. Like I said, why didn't the father come out and plead for her? Why didn't the grandma? And then they put that statement out only after they heard everybody, going after them and all upset with them. That's when they put the statement
Mhm.
out. That statement didn't come out in the beginning, and it was total BS
It
what
was
they wrote
BS.
because they knew who
They
was living there not
contradicted
before
themselves
him.
right in the press statement. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
the RSO, they didn't show this. We were doing God's work by helping out somebody from the prison. But you just told
Yep.
us you didn't know about him."
Yeah. To me, that was all about guilty conscience, and trying to, make themselves feel better. But they're gonna have to live with it, you know.
They should have to
Unfortunately,
do more
they're
than
not
live with it. They put this
they're
woman
not
through
the ones that
hell.
lost their life. Yep.
They put this child in danger multiple times over and over again. We don't know what this child was living in through or in. They put this monster directly in this child's bedroom, and that is what we have a problem with. And not only that, then they want to come out and blame everybody else for their F up that lost this
Exactly.
child their life. You know what? We're tired of the excuses, ladies and gentlemen. We're tired of them. There's
I'm
no
sorry. I
excuse.
mean, yeah, for them not to see that, have any kind of warning signs that something wasn't right between the two of them. I mean, I have a funny feeling that.
Came straight out of
I mean,
prison.
this was
What does that mean?
premeditated. Yep. This. I mean, this was definitely I premeditated. And
It's
they
the
didn't even see the signs.
it's the text messages that make it premeditated for me. The reaching
Yep.
out to Cassie the day before this all happened, guys. He reached out to Cassie the
Yep.
day before. So that means he already had it in his brain what he was about to do. He already had it.
Exactly.
And he was setting this mother up. I want that to be conveyed. This was not done that day. We thought that there was something she said that triggered this man to go off and do this day. That's not the case. That's not what the evidence is saying here. When you look at the text messages between him and Cassie out of the blue the night before, it paints a clear picture that he had this in his brain the night before.
Oh yeah, he's been thinking that for he had to be thinking that for a while to come up with what he was coming up with. Because Cassie wouldn't be here today neither. She would have showed up there,
Oh no, she would have been
and
gone.
hoping that she would have took the blame, And I don't know. I think there's going to
Mother
be
and
more that's
daughter
going to come
disappear
out.
forever. Nobody ever sees or hears from them again.
Yep. And like we had mentioned that supposedly Audrey was reaching out to teachers, because she had no one else to confide in. Maybe they're afraid she was going to confide in the mother, because who knows if she was expressing she wanted to see the mother or not. She was happy to see her this past May, last year, and it was only a little brief thing. And you know, I really feel bad. I mean, she was talking about how she was manic depressant since age 15, and I mean, thank God for Nancy. She said she was gonna give her some money and help her out with a therapist, which is
She needs
is
it.
what
And
she needs.
actually that when you lose a child in any community, I'm sorry, but your law enforcement victims right there should be counseling. There should already be stuff in place for you. And
Yeah,
it
there
shouldn't
should
be
be.
something that thank God Nancy took over, took her case on and is able to help
Yeah,
her in that way. But how about all the other parents that don't have the platform? Um,
right.
are they going without assistance and services? I hope not.
I know. I hope not neither, but I mean, I just hope and pray she gets to go. Like I said, like you said, being around the parents, that would probably be a disaster because I mean, I would go up and she might just totally melt down, But she
She's a
needs time
spitfire.
alone.
Yeah.
She needs an hour, and at least an hour to make her peace. You know what I mean? 'Cause,
I doubt that.
mean,
I doubt the family. I doubt the father side of the family. We'll see. We'll see if they're
yeah,
respectable enough to say, to put their armor down for one day for this lady. She deserves that. Because
yeah.
let's
Or at
face
least give
it,
her.
they're responsible for why this lady will never see her daughter again.
Yep,
100% responsible.
exactly. It's just totally heartbreaking, And I just really do. I do feel bad for the mother. And from what I'm hearing, is the father really put the daughter upbringing on a lot of people. There was a godmother that always had her,
Mhm.
and she got shifted around to people, that were convenient to him to, take care of her. So he failed. I mean, I'm not gonna say he didn't love her. Obviously, I'm sure he did. I'm sure they both did, but they failed, and they got to live with it. But it's not their life that got lost. It's their daughter and their granddaughters, and that's on them.
Mhm.
They put her in that harm's way,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But I have a funny feeling there'll be more that will come out.
All right, love bug. Well, you take care and
You
God
take
bless you.
care.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So somebody had asked if, she can sue. In my opinion, yes. And I think not because of the money, not because of the money at all. I mean, the family does have money, and in all fairness, you teach somebody a lesson by taking their money. It's just the way that the world works. And I truly do believe that she should. I believe that intentional infliction of emotional distress is definitely one that can definitely I feel rises to the top here among other legal remedies she has at her disposal. I do hope she sues the family. I absolutely do, because what has happened to her should never have happened. Um, but the abuse that she underwent, the verbal abuse, the mental abuse that she underwent from Lucky, just even when she wasn't even with Lucky, just trying to have conversations with him about her daughter, and just him just calling her every name in the book, just for her trying to have a relationship with her daughter. And that was appalling to me. That was absolutely appalling to me. His behavior is definitely under a microscope right now. Yeah, I absolutely believe she should. And I hope she does reach out to an attorney, and I hope an attorney takes her case on a contingency fee and makes this as easy as possible for her. I hope there's an upstanding lawyer there. I would love to, if somebody does take on her case pro bono or contingency fee, I would love to promote your law firm on this channel. I would love to give you free advertisement for doing the right thing. So, and we can definitely blow it up on TikTok, right? We can give the attorney millions of views. So it's one of those things where I hope she does. I really do. Guys, that's the end of our show. I really don't have a whole lot more to go over. We're going to continue to go down this rabbit hole. And yeah, Lucky and his family are under a microscope at this point in time. And if people have a problem with it, whine and cry someplace else. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. This child is gone. She's gone off the face of this earth. And she was supposed to be protected. And when we peel back the layer of onion, we realize this child was just in harm's way, and in harm's way for a really long time. It is surprising to me that the people around this child could not see this freight train coming for them long before it got here. That is my problem. So take it for what you will. Is Betty mean? Hey, if I got to be mean, I'm mean. I don't care. You know what I do care about? I care about our children in this country thriving. That's what I care about. And this child's no longer thriving. So if I'm mean, I'm mean. Oh, well. Buckle up, Buttercup. There's more to come. God bless. As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.